Good evening, listeners. Now, let me share you a little fact about myself. There's nothing I love more than tucking in and digging down on a nice, juicy steak. In fact, I want you to think back to every single holiday meal you've ever had and think about the centerpiece of those meals. Whether it be a Christmas roast, a New Year's ham, or a Thanksgiving turkey, a meal really isn't complete without meat, right? However, instead of thinking about those delicious dishes, it's about time we as a population decide to think about the sustainability of eating meat and livestock farming, and how major changes need to be made in farming techniques to increase sustainability. Since most of us are not farmers, we tend to forget how much food, water, and land it takes to raise an animal from infancy to adulthood. In fact, on average, 1 to 2 acres of forest are being cleared every minute for animal agriculture. It takes 1,800 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of beef, as opposed to the 216 gallons for soybeans and 108 gallons for corn. Furthermore, livestock agriculture also produces 14.5% of all human-induced greenhouse gases. With the human population growing exponentially and meat production expected to double by 2050, our environment cannot afford to keep this level of farming up. However, the goal is not to vilify the animal agriculture industry, only to make it more efficient and sustainable. In fact, livestock agriculture supports the livelihoods and nutrition security for 1.3 billion people, and livestock is sometimes the only way for local communities and developing countries to get work power and satisfactory diets. So, what can be done? One way to reduce the greenhouse emissions is to pour funding into the development of supplements and feed that reduces the methane emissions from livestock. Some companies right now are developing supplements that target and block the enzymes that trigger microbes in the gut to produce methane. Another is to raise livestock in the appropriate climate. Some livestock are being farmed in climates that cannot sustain the animals' growth and the crops they feed on, and thus it is both expensive and resource intensive to raise them in those climates. Now, the last major solution relies on the listener. Developed countries are responsible for the majority of meat consumption in the world. If our next generation is taught to limit meat consumption, whether through school or taxes on animal goods, the demand would decrease, and so would the expansion of the livestock agriculture industry. So, the next time you have eggs for breakfast, put some cheese in your sandwich or slice into a steak. Think about where it comes from and its impact on both our generation and the generations to come. Thank you.